Well, hello, church family. Pastor Spencer here, just wanting to come and share some changes that we're looking at for the fall. I know it can be a little crazy to think about making changes for the fall with all the COVID things swirling around us, but we've really tried to take an opportunity during this COVID-19 season to evaluate. You know, one of the hallmarks of that evaluation has been, rather than looking at what COVID has stopped, asking this question: what does COVID-19 make possible? And what it's made possible is a really, really incredible season of prayer and evaluation for our team. If you had told me that in the middle of March we would have gone totally digital and done all the online ministry things that we did at the first of the year, I would have told you you were crazy. But here we are. And so we've tried to do our best to learn from this, to grow from this. In a lot of ways, some of the things we're going to share with you tonight, I don't like tonight. Share with you are going to be things, you can cut that out, right? Share with you are going to be things that really probably would have been accelerated anyway. And so those things that are being accelerated, we just want to really bring those to bear so that you understand what those are and begin to make preparations for those. So there are really three major things that we're looking at for changes in the fall, three shifts that are coming out of COVID-19 that we think COVID makes possible as a result of a really important season of evaluation. The first thing that we're going to be shifting to towards the fall is enhancing our digital ministry. Now, we do not believe that COVID-19 was just merely an interruption that gets us back into normal ministry. We believe it's a disruption that actually is going to usher in a new season of ministry. And so really what that means is we believe the digital online presence really becomes the front door for our church. In the same way that a foyer used to be the place where you assumed you would first interact with guests, online really is becoming our new foyer, our new guest welcome area. You know, one of the things that's been interesting is over the last even 2 weeks here on campus as we've been reopening, we've had visitors actually come in and worship with us after having watched online. And so what's going to begin to happen, church families, people are going to begin to try things out for several weeks online before they ever show up in person. This is in part because it's available and they can do that. It's also because of what COVID's done. People are a little more hesitant about coming out. If they've got a cough or a sick kiddo, they're very hesitant about coming out. And so the concrete step we're going to be taking this fall is bringing on a new staff member to focus exclusively on communication. This will be a communication pastor who will oversee our online presence, social media, all graphic design, all video recording and production, and anything related to digital ministry. One of the things I've been incredibly grateful for in this season is our high school minister, Austin Havermail, who has taken the brunt of this entire ministry area. All the production you've seen, all the VBS videos, all of the testimonies, all that Austin has done. And so just to give you a little sense of the workload and the demand, I want Austin to share with us a little bit about what he's been doing in this COVID-19 season to help us launch our digital ministry.
Yeah, so some of you have seen the videos that we have produced, like our staff devotionals, our FM Kids Church Online, life group testimonials, all these things, and these have been such a great resource for not only our church, but the surrounding area. And those stuff takes time. It takes time recording, creating the content, editing, and what we've seen is we really need leadership behind this in order to use this tool that honestly God has given us to be able to reach not only people in Mansfield, but all around the world. And we're excited about this opportunity.
And so, church family, one of the things you need to know is we are incredibly thankful to Austin. Austin has done an amazing job of just being a servant in this season and helping us in a powerful, powerful way moving forward. So Austin, thank you for what you've done. And we are looking forward to the time as we talk with our personnel team, as I meet and talk with our council about bringing on this new leader for this ministry in the fall. Number 2 is we are going to begin to prioritize our relationships, community as a church, even more. One of our values as a church is connected community. We believe connecting as the body of Christ is important. And so one of the things we've been evaluating, church family, is it wise to have all of our programming on Sunday when people are so desperate for connections relationally? And so it also gives us an opportunity to evaluate Sunday and the prevalence of holidays on Mondays that make Sunday evening programming tough. So here's the decision. We are moving our Sunday evening programming from Sunday to Wednesday. So starting in the fall, outside of meetings and other small things, there will not be any programming on Sunday night. It will be moving that to Wednesday night, but there's a couple of changes. One of the things we're going to be doing is rather than a 30 or 40 week a year program, we're going to be going to 8-week bursts. There'll be an 8-week window in the fall on Wednesday night and an 8-week window in the spring on Wednesday night. We're going to call this ministry Recharge because that's exactly what it's designed to do. It's a midweek connection point that's designed to recharge you, to recharge our church through community, through equipping, through relationships so that you are blessed. During this Wednesday night 8-week period, we'll offer a meal. We're going to offer adult classes and programming for every single age group in the life of the church. I want each of our staff members to talk a little bit more that are connected to this, to talk a little bit more about those areas. I'm going to ask Scott Lyle first to take just a minute and share with you about some of the adult classes we're going to offer on Wednesday night during Recharge. Scott, share with us.
Yeah, I'm really excited about Recharge. You know, we believe in being deliberate about making disciples, and this is going to be an incredible opportunity for us to intentionally equip and train our adults to go out into the world and into their community. And so we'll do that by offering several classes. One is going to be a class around marriage to help our families have healthy marriages. We'll also offer a class on financial peace. This will help our adults be better stewards with their financial resources. The third option is going to be more of a theology option. This will be a great opportunity taught by one of our Southwestern Seminary professors that's going to come in and teach a class on church history and help us have a better understanding of the foundations of our faith. And then the fourth option is going to be a grief group, helping those people that are dealing with loss and suffering through the grief through the loss of a loved one. So we're really excited about these 8-week classes that will equip our adults and deploy them as ambassadors for Christ into our community.
So moms and dads, parents, adults of all ages, what you need to know is on Wednesday nights in the fall and in the spring, there'll be an 8-week window where these classes will run concurrently for 8 weeks. We are going to be doing some recording of these classes so that we can capture those and have those available if you can't go to one or you're serving or doing something different. But those classes are going to be available this fall. I also mentioned that we're going to continue to do programming for preschool, elementary, middle school, preteen, and high school. And so I'm going to ask each of those respective staff members to share. But parents, one of the things you need to know is that the priority of serving that we brought to bear on Sunday night will continue as we move to Wednesday night. I want you first hear from Maureen, talk about what Wednesday night's going to look like for our preschoolers. Maureen, share with us.
Yeah, so preschool will meet. It will look very similar to what we did on Sunday nights with our GoPod Hour. So Wednesdays will follow the same format where we are building those theological foundations early on, starting from birth. We will also continue to do puppets, we will continue to do worship, and we will continue to send cards and send posters and to send things and items out with our mission teams, with our elementary teams that actually go out into the community. So preschoolers are going to still be engaged. They're going to still do community outreach just internally to be sent out.
So parents of preschoolers, if you come to a class, your preschooler will have great programming, a great option for them that's encouraging them, teaching them, but also preparing them to serve as well at an age-appropriate level. Now let's go to Pastor Dave to talk about what that's going to look like for elementary. Dave, share with us.
Yeah, if you guys are anything like me, one of your favorite parts, the kids' favorite parts, was going out and serving in the community. And those serve trips are going to continue, those external serve trips. We're going to be going to food pantries, senior centers, and things of that nature. But also on top of that, we're also going to teach them about ways they could serve in the church as they grow older. We're going to teach them about what it looks like, what the first impression team does, what the tech team does. And then also there's going to be the fun with the worship music and having the preteens and the middle schoolers helping them out as well. So it's going to be great.
So parents of elementary kids, if you have a K through 4 kiddo, kinder through 4th grade, they will be doing things on campus, but there's going to be multiple times, as Dave mentioned, where they're going out to do community ministry projects. This is also going to show up in our preteen and middle school ministry under Parker's leadership. Parker, share with us what preteen and middle school ministry is going to look like in the fall on Wednesday nights.
Yes, so similar to kids ministry, our focus with the preteen and middle school ministry is going to be on serving. The reason we think it's so important is it's the example that Christ has set. We're called to serve and love others out of this love that we have received from him. And so our goal with the time is to emphasize this relationship and lead students and teach them through action. What are these actions? Well, the preteens are going to be serving with the preschool kids, and the middle school are going to be serving with the elementary. They'll be leading the younger kids in things like worship motions, doing puppet skits around a memory verse, and all the other fun things Dave and Maureen have planned. In addition to all these things that they're serving inside the church, they'll also be taking serve trips to serve out in the community, widen our influence, and learn through that. And so along the way, we're going to be doing all kinds of games and fun things and have really important discussions about why it is we're doing this kind of service. Give them reasons for doing this and be excited about following Christ in this way.
So parents, you need to know that the priority of encouraging serve in the life of your child is going to continue in age-appropriate ways. And frankly, I am excited. As the parent of a preschooler and an elementary kid and a preteen in the fall, I am really, really thrilled that my kids are going to get to be a part at a very young age of learning that church is not just about getting, but about giving. Speaking of that giving, we've also been encouraging our high schoolers to do that. Our high schoolers this past fall started serving on Sunday morning. And parents, you need to remember, the reason we're doing this is because what the research shows is that if your child, especially in those formative high school years, begins to move from just being a consumer to a contributor in the life of a church, the percentages say that if they will stick, the fact that they'll stick with their faith, that percentage skyrockets if they move to actually investing in their local church. So to share a little bit more about what Wednesday night's going to look like in the fall, though, I want Austin to share. We were doing serve on Sunday morning, and then they were doing a small group time on Sunday night. We are moving into Wednesday night, but I want Austin to share a little bit about what that's going to look like for the fall. Austin, share with us.
Yeah, so it's going to look a little different than from the other ministries. We are going to be meeting every Wednesday, so throughout the year, every Wednesday. And it's going to look similar to what we were doing already on Sunday nights. We're going to have a time of worship, a time of large group teaching. Our life groups are going to happen during that time. And it's still going to be a place where students can grow in their relationship with others as well as in Christ. And so I just really want to mention how thankful I am of our high school students to be able to serve on Sunday mornings. It's been such a blessing to be able to see that every Sunday.
I would give a hearty amen to that. I agree. High schoolers, parents of high schoolers, I know that's been a big change, and I am thankful for the way you've stepped up. We are raising a generation that understands church is not just about receiving and getting, but giving and contributing, and I'm very thankful for that. So that's the second thing. We are going to not only enhance digital ministry, second thing is we're going to prioritize relationships by moving our Sunday evening programming to Wednesday evening. Here's the third thing. The third thing is we are going to encourage our serve teams at a higher level. We believe serving is important not just for the kids, as we've talked about just a moment ago. We believe serving is important for adults, that you are here to invest, that part of you experiencing the power and the wonder, the majesty of God shows up in your life, not when just you're receiving, but when you're giving. And so we want to make it clear, though, that while we want you to serve and while we want you to invest, we don't just want things from you. We really do want things for you. And so we really want to begin to encourage you in a couple ways. There are two concrete steps we're going to try to encourage serving at a higher level. The first is through our ministry partners. This is going to be a weekly group of volunteers that actually comes in the office and helps us with ministry projects. I'm going to let Mike Sellers, who's going to head up that ministry, share a little bit more about what ministry partners is going to look like.
Pastor Spencer, it's been great to watch our admins, who are all excellent admins, and we're really appreciative of them. But a lot goes on during the week. You know, we've got great activities on Wednesday and in the fall and Sundays, and a lot of you serve in those areas. But during the week is when we really crunch down and we get all those activities done, getting ready for you on those days. And we have some places in ministry as we would need ministry partners coming in and joining us and being a part of our ministry, helping these amazing pastors and ministers get their activities ready and scheduling. But there's some specific things that we're looking for. And some of you may say, well, I don't have any skills or abilities. We'd be glad to work with you. And some of you, most of you work, but there are many of you in the home setting that aren't working, that you've got extra time during the week to hand off to us. So this is what I'm going to encourage you to do, is consider being one of our ministry partners, where you could come in, maybe answer the phones for us, help us get mail-outs done, prepare packs of materials that we need to get going for the week. Some of you, maybe with some skill sets and computer, could step alongside of us and help us in our database and keeping things up there. But we've got plenty of activities and opportunities for you to join us and to be a part of our service here at First Mansfield, and continue to help us to grow and to become everything God intends us to be.
So we're calling this ministry partners because it's more than just a role. We really do want you to see yourself as a part of this team. We believe that there's a vital contribution many of you can make throughout the week that will really, really enhance the ministry of this church and will be a blessing to you. The second area is we are going to begin to encourage our ministry teams to take on some of the elements a life group has. So many of you are serving on a ministry team. Maybe it's a preschool team or a children's team or the worship team. And we really want to begin to not just help you in your specific role, teaching kids or helping in the worship area. We really want to begin to come alongside you, encourage you in Christ. So just to remind you, I want Scott to share with us a little bit about some of the vision for Life Group and how some of those elements are going to begin to take shape on some of our ministry teams. Scott, share with us.
There's 3 words that describe our life groups and the sense of belonging. The 3 words are teach, reach, and minister. And we believe that our ministry teams can experience this sense of belonging as well, to have good teaching and Bible study and community around the Word, to have opportunities to reach new people and maybe even train new leaders that will come in and serve alongside them. And then also to minister to each other, to have fellowship, to have care, to pray for one another, and just provide good ministry for each other during times of need and while they're here. So that would help all of our teams, life groups and ministry teams, have the sense of belonging that we believe in so strongly here at First Baptist.
So church family, part of what I'm saying is we want our ministry teams to be places of encouragement. We don't want you just to see your role as something you're kind of grinding out as a part of some machinery. We want you to feel loved and empowered and encouraged by the leaders that are working with those ministry teams. To give you a little more of a taste of what we're talking about, I want a couple of our staff members to share about some of the ways their ministry team are going to take on some of the elements of a life group. First, let's hear from Dave and talk about how in the children's area, that children's ministry team is going to encourage folks.
Yeah, Maureen and I really love our volunteers, and we're always excited for opportunities to fellowship with them, to grow closer to them. So what we're going to do is, with our weekly volunteers in the morning before we get together for life groups, we're going to take about 10 minutes to get together, share some brief announcements, maybe pour some coffee for them, and then we're just going to pray for each other and encourage each other in that way, and then just pray for our classes that the kids that we teach will grow closer to the Lord, give their life to the Lord. And then we're also going to have these Zoom meetings once a month. And during these meetings, we're going to be encouraging them with a brief Bible devotional, a time of sharing prayer requests with one another, and just really building those relationships, encouraging one another. We're going to try to do that with Zoom for several of the weeks, just so that it's not so burdensome for them to come up to the church all the time and all that. But we're also going to have fellowships on campus as well. And those are going to be focused on relationship building, where we're going to get together and have some pizza or some ice cream and pray for each other, play some games. So we really hope to grow together as a team through these activities.
So what Dave's saying is if you're on the children's ministry team or preschool ministry team, Dave and Maureen are going to be connecting with you weekly and Sunday morning, and then once a month via Zoom to encourage you again, so that you're not just feeling like you're a cog in the wheel of the machinery of the church, but that you really are someone who's loved and cared for. I also want you to hear another example from Kyle. He'll share a little bit about how this is going to work its way out in our worship team.
Yeah, so the way that's going to look for our worship team is during our midweek worship rehearsal. Before we start, about 5 to 10 minutes, we'll take some time just to share a quick devotion, spend some time in the Word, And then as we go forward in that, we will also spend some time praying for each other, just going around the room, seeing how we can be just lifting each other up, encouraging one another. It is really developing a nice, just solid community with the people that we're serving with. And then also outside of our midweek rehearsal time, we will also have on Sunday mornings during our 9 o'clock Bible study hour, a time for our worship group to come together and really just grow in their understanding of what worship is, learn how we can be effective worship leaders, not just when we're leading on stage or from the sound booth, but wherever we go throughout our lives, how we can be living an attitude of worship. And so we really want to encourage our people serving in this ministry and serving in this way to develop in their ability to lead worship, but also to include each other and part of that community as a worship team.
So church family, those are the changes that we're looking at making. I'm so excited to be serving with this team. This is the team of staff members, ministry leaders that you have called, that you've equipped and empowered to lead here. These are the changes that we're looking at making. You can comment with questions that you have. You can reach out to any of these individual leaders. But I want you to know that I'm not just excited about these changes. I'm excited about working with this team and coming together with you as a church as we seek to guide people to multiplying impact for Christ's kingdom this fall. We look forward to those changes. If there's any questions that you guys have, please don't hesitate to let us know. Thanks for watching today.